Hi, my name's Anna Gurma, and this is my persuasive speech. My speech is about the importance of sustainable fashion and why we must choose ethical clothing over fast fashion. I have two questions for you. How many new clothes did you buy this year, and what happens to the clothes you don't wear anymore? The fast fashion industry is very damaging to our environment and workers globally, and today I want to discuss on why we should choose sustainable clothing and fashion over fast fashion. What is fast fashion? Fast fashion refers to the low-quality apparel produced quickly to follow current trends and sold at very low prices online, in stores, etc. And fast fashion negatively impacts our textile workers and environments. Workers in the fast fashion industry are very underpaid, and the clothes are poorly made, often purchased, rarely worn, and quickly discarded. The goal of fast fashion companies is to encourage consumers to buy more clothes for short usage, which increases their profits and damages our environment. The problem with fast fashion is that 92 million tons of clothing-related waste are discarded each year, which is equivalent to a garbage truck every second. Cheap clothes is financially affordable for everyone, but very expensive for the environment and our lives. 20% of the global wastewater actually comes from textile dyeing, which is the second largest water polluter globally, and 60% of our clothes are made from plastic-based materials, which also damages our environment very much. And if we don't take action, the fashion industry will take up to a quarter of the world's carbon budget by 2050, according to the United Nations Environment Program, aka ENEP. You may be wondering, what is sustainable clothing? Sustainable clothing is an eco-friendly and ethical alternative to fast fashion. It focuses on environmental friendly materials and ethical production practices throughout the supply chain and minimizes environmental impact by reducing the waste, reducing our water usage, and reducing our carbon footprint. It includes secondhand, upcycled, and organic materials, which promotes a circular economy and a great environment. And the goals of sustainable fashion is that it extends our garment lifespan, it reduces our landfill waste, and it encourages conscious consumerism. Some benefits of sustainable fashion is that it saves us money in the long run. Fast fashion includes cheap clothing and cheap materials that wears out quickly, whereas sustainable clothing actually includes high quality materials that doesn't wear out quickly and reduces the amount of repurchases you need to make over some clothes. A $10 shirt over only lasts a few months if you buy it from fast fashion companies, whereas if you buy it from sustainable companies that uses high quality clothing with proper care, it can last up to a few decades. Another benefit is that you will get high quality clothing, like I mentioned. Sustainable fashion prioritizes quality over quantity, and it uses higher quality materials that are durable and built to last longer. It also requires less water to make sustainable clothing. To make one shirt, it takes 700 gallons of water, and that's equivalent to the amount of water we drink over the course of 3 years. And if we throw away 10 shirts a year, that is equivalent to 7,000 gallons of water that we have wasted over the production of fast fashion clothing. Sustainable fashion brands use higher quality materials that last years, which reduces the need to replace constantly our clothes, and it saves us water in the long run. How can we make a difference? We can make a difference by buying less clothes. Even though sustainable fashion helps our environment, it also has some environmental impacts due to the amount of things that we use to produce these clothings and the amount of things we use to transport this around the world. But the root of the issue is us and our need of excessive consumerism, where we buy more clothing than needed, believing it will bring us happiness even though it doesn't. So that's one way we can make a difference in this. Another way is to buy better quality clothing. Cheap clothes has led us to prioritize quantity over quality. We tend to lean more towards cheaper clothing rather than more better clothing, replacing items when they lose shape. We can push brands to improve the quality of their clothing and keep clothes longer, which is not only benefits our environment, but also benefits our pockets. We could also make a difference by thinking twice before throwing away our clothes. There are many alternatives to throwing away clothes, like trying to repair them if they have any rips, or donating your clothes to thrift stores, charity, or homeless people on the streets. We could also sell them on secondhand apps like eBay or Depop. And we could put them in textile recycling bins, which can lead to less textile clothing in our landfills. Another way is to buy clothes from sustainable brands. More brands are actually considering environmental and social impacts in the production of the clothing. And while sustainable options actually are more limited and more pricier, demands that we make to make more sustainable clothing will actually make them more accessible and less pricier than overpriced, low quality name brands that we know of, like Shein and anything of the sort. Here I listed some popular fashion brands to avoid, like Fashion Nova, Forever 21, H&M, and Shein. And on the right, I listed some sustainable fashion alternatives like Stella McCartney, Outer Known, Tentree, and anything on the left is sustainable fashion brands that we should consume more of. In conclusion, by choosing sustainable fashion, we can reduce the environmental impact and promote eco-friendly practices, and your purchase decision can support brands that prioritize fair labor practices and responsible sourcing. And as demand for sustainable fashion grows, more brands will follow suit, which drives more industry-wide change. And every choice you make today contributes to a healthier planet and healthier environment for us, the animals, and everything around us. So choose sustainable fashion. Here are my sources. Thank you.